one guy called NPR, and it was a talk show. He wouldn't even talk directly to me because I was such a loathsome pimp of a character. But he said to the show guy, "Why, you think I could speak English if I take a speaking gig? Let's see the host." He talks to the host and says, "What I don't understand is why that woman would give her son one day of fun, just knowing that by the end of it he would probably be anally raped and murdered, beheaded, and deposited in the East River when she could have given him a long and happy life." To which I said, "Yeah, it seemed like the same thing at the time. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And I have a spare kid at home. Why would I care? Danger is my business." And I needed a column. So obviously this is great. And look, I'm on NPR. So I came home and I said, I have to explain myself because I am so in love with safety. I'm like a safety fanatic nut, and people are thinking that I'm this cavalier, devil-may-care mom, like of Evel Knievel, and that's so not true. So that weekend, I started the blog Free Range Kids, and as it says on the side, it's like, I believe in car seats, in helmets, in safety belts. When the same subway rider turned 10 and we had a football party for him, what was the gift in the goodie bag? It was not candy, it wasn't a toy, it was a protective mouth guard, okay? That's the fun gift that this crazy safety, who cares, mom gave. And I personally sat in the kitchen with the boiling water, making sure that they fit every cloud out perfectly so it wouldn't slip and they wouldn't hurt their teeth. So the idea was, I just wanted to explain that nowadays we have gotten this weird idea of safety that didn't even comply to my extremely high standards of safety. And it was only after I started the blog that I started hearing all the other stuff that's going on in America. Because I live in New York City. I didn't realize that in the suburbs, even in gated communities, parents are driving their children to the bus stop. And then they wait at the bus stop because, you don't want to leave your kid at the bus stop, even with the other kids at the bus stop. Parents are driving them even if they're on the same side of the street. And then in some places, it's not considered safe enough to do that. And so like in one town in Wisconsin, now the bus stops at every house. The kids are all going to be vomiting by the time they get to school. But what do the parents do there? Oh, how can we show that we really care? They drive their children from the garage to the sidewalk. Okay, probably one of those little video screens that shows that they're not like running over any other children on the way. And then there's a school in Florida that when it's time to go home, first of all, there are a lot of schools that won't let children walk or ride their bikes home. Did you know this? I didn't know that. So the one in Florida, they won't let you walk home, but the kids, the bus takers, can take the bus. Good luck to them. And then, maybe we'll see you tomorrow, maybe not. But then there's a pair who drive to the front of the school, and they have to go in a straight line. And then when they get to the front of the line, the person in charge of the parking lot, which I always assume is the gym teacher, reads the name on the plaque, the school-given plaque, in the dashboard, and it says Jeremy's mom. So then she radios to the school, "Jeremy's mother is here." At which point Jeremy is escorted from the school to the car, getting in like Obama. Like, go. And I want you to imagine them like, the fall of Saigon, and there's, the helicopters overhead. It's like, okay, Jessica's mom is here, get her out the car, for God's sake, go! So she gets into the car, and it's the next one and the next one, and I had no idea all this was going on. And I thought, it seems to me that I walked to school, and in fact, the statistics show that like most of us walked to school when we were kids, and now it's between 11 and 15%. Is it just this, or has childhood really changed so much than when I was a kid? And so I finally came up with like the smoking gun, the one piece of proof that shows that it really is different now, and that is, if you get the DVD set, Sesame Street Old School, 2 DVDs, people are nodding, yes, they have it, yeah. Now it's in the fight. It shows really nice things, because remember, Sesame Street was there to model the halcyon childhood that we wished all children could have. So you see, a girl walking down the street and somebody introducing her to, ooh, creepy Mr. Hooper. Or, who's that guy living in the garbage can? Why they balance on a beam, you know, without wearing a helmet, and they shimmy through one of those big pipes on the ground, and it's not like there's a homeless guy in the middle with, you know, 4 roses or anything. It's just an empty thing, and they go from one side to the other. They play Follow the Leader, and the leader is not a certified coach. The leader is another, like, 8-year-old. And it looks really fun, and it's pleasant, and we all remember it. And before it even begins, there's a notice that appears on the screen, and it says, for adult viewing only. Literally, because what was a happy, healthy, outdoors, fun, make your own kind of day, sunny day, Sesame Street day, is considered so radically dangerous, litigiously wrong, that Sesame Street had to stand back for it. And I have a friend who works at Sesame Workshop. And I said, what happened? He said, yeah, I know, we had all these discussions and we knew it would look a little weird, but they weren't willing to sign off on even recommending the childhood that they had recommended 40 years ago. So childhood really has changed, and parents have changed, and I wanted to figure out why. And so that's what I did in my book. And I came up with what I think are 4 reasons that we are so much more afraid for our children than our parents, who were not, you know, irresponsible drunkards, were for us. You know, why is it that my mom, who was a stay-at-home mom, quit her job to stay at home, would nonetheless be talking on the phone when I left in the morning, and somehow we had that same phone call when I came home later in the afternoon with another cigarette, and she was a mom who really cared, and she was a social worker before she quit. And out we would go, and then we didn't see her for a while, right? I mean, we would be outside, and then we would come back and eat, and that was considered fun. So here are the 4 reasons. The first, and I think we can all do this. Are you ready? Okay, the first reason is the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I led you astray. That is a knee-jerk reaction, but what are we knee-jerkingly going to blame for society being so terrible these days? The media. Actually. I got to work on that presentation. Okay. So the media is really different than when my parents were raising me. I mean, I'm so old that they were watching Marcus Welby, where like the people lived. You know, the patients came to the hospital and they left afterwards, feeling better and thanking him and being patted on the back. But nowadays, first of all, there's 24/7 cable, and cable TV, which is laying off my friends right and left, nonetheless manages to scrape together enough money whenever there's an abduction anywhere in the world, so long as it's a white girl. So they'll go to Portugal when a 4-year-old is taken from her hotel room. They will go to Aruba when a 20-year-old is murdered on spring break. And I have a friend who works at cable TV, an executive, and she said that that's what we're looking for. We're always looking for a middle to upper middle class white girl who has been taken. And so you see these, and the point is, like, I was just talking to Julie here today, Julie Chen. We all know these names. I mean, Maddie, JC, Natalie, always tell you, by the way, don't name your child with 2 E's at the end of her name. Just a little aside. Maybe that's not politically correct. They do seem to be taken. How can we know their names? I cannot tell you my second cousin's names. But we all share these pictures in our mind, and when they can't find somebody new who's taken, oh, it's so terrible, nobody's been taken for a week, they go, and you go on Nancy Grace's homepage, and I'm reading this like, she got off the school bus, and that was the last they ever saw her. I'm thinking, oh my God, another one, this is just terrible, and it's like, that was 1983. I mean, they'll just drag them up, and then it's the 30th anniversary of the Eitan Page story, and it comes back on the news. These are such gold mines. I hate to put it that way, but it is a gold mine for the broadcasting industry to have a story like this, because it is the most gripping story in the world. A child in danger or a child who's harmed will keep us glued to the screen, and that means that they get viewers, which means that they get advertising dollars, which means that they influence all the entertainment shows that are so fun that you come home and you turn on Law and Order. I mean, right before I started my chapter on the media, I just sat down that night and I turned on Law and Order, and it wasn't even SVU with the really cute victims, okay? This was just the moderately cute victims.